Hi, thanks for tuning in. My name is Alejandra Sofia, and I'm tuning in to the latest on Mercury in Libra retrograde. But first, before I continue, please subscribe to my channel, click that button, and adjust your notifications so that you get notified whenever I upload my latest video. And then also follow me on Instagram at Alejandra*Sofia. I post daily astrological stories as well as daily posts. Okay, Mercury in Libra retrograde. Now I'm tuning in from October 11th, 2021, and Mercury has been retrograde since September 26th and will be retrograde until October 18th. Mercury has been upon the retrograde path since September 6th, the Virgo new moon. That's the day of the Virgo new moon. And then we'll go beyond the Mercury retrograde path on November 3rd, which is the day before the Scorpio new moon. So we've got about 3.5 weeks left of Mercury upon this path, which with several significant things happening. We've had a powerful Libra new moon that is combust Mars. That means it's exactly conjunct at the very same degree as the Libra new moon. The sun, the moon, and Mars all at 14 Libra. I round up when I say a degree, I'm rounding up. So it was Libra. It was a 13 and some minutes. And then I round up with at any point that I mention a degree. And then we have a powerful full moon coming up next week on October 20th. And stay tuned for my full moon in Aries video. So it's important to note that the retrograde path is the degrees in which any planet is stationing retrograde and then stationing direct. And it's going over those degrees 3 times. So with Mercury retrograde, September through November 2021, and the actual retrograde path happening in October, Mercury stationed at 26 Libra on September 26th, and then it's going to station direct on October 18th. And this is in the same month, October 2021, with Pluto going direct at 25 Capricorn, a few hours after the Libra new moon on October 6th. And then we just had Saturn's now stationed direct as of October 10th, 2021. And then we have Jupiter stationing direct at 23 Aquarius on October 17th in some parts of the world and October 18th, other parts of the world. And then several hours later, we have Mercury stationing direct. So this is really powerful to have a Mercury retrograde in the same month that we have 2 of the social personal planets, which are Jupiter and Saturn, the social personal planets, and then a transpersonal planet, Pluto, all stationing direct on the same month as Mercury, a personal planet, being retrograde and then stationing direct. And an overview of that, I'll be tuning into, really diving into the key aspect of this Mercury retrograde. And there's actually 6 planets that Mercury is aspecting 3 times through the course of going over the degrees of 11 Libra to 26 Libra 3 times. And the key. So here are the 5 planets. It's Pluto in Capricorn, Jupiter in Aquarius, Neptune in Pisces, Uranus in Taurus, and then Chiron in Aries. I'm looking down at my notes. And the key aspect of this Mercury retrograde is the square with Pluto. This is the most profound and the most intense of all the aspects. And I believe this is the key of the entire course of these 2 months between September 6th and November 3rd, because Pluto is about the depths. Pluto is always, at any time in your own personal chart, in the transiting chart, is always the deepest theme that is going on. It's the deepest undercurrent theme. So your personal Pluto in your birth chart is the deepest theme of your soul's journey in this incarnation, in this life. So with the transiting, so we're dealing with transits now, and they're impacting your chart in your own personal, unique way. And so I'm of course tuning in on a collective, general level. Pluto is the deepest theme. Where Pluto is right now at 25 Capricorn is the deepest theme of the undercurrents of what's happening here on planet Earth, in our bodies, you know, in the physical reality. And the crux of these issues that we are upon, the significance of this Pluto stationing direct with Mercury making 3 aspects in a square to Pluto, is that Pluto, as it stations direct, is now heading out towards 2022. It's going to be moving beyond into more advanced degrees of Capricorn. And in 2022, Pluto in February is when it moves beyond into 28 Capricorn and then 29 Capricorn. And that is hugely significant for the degrees that it's aspecting, but also because it is the United States Pluto's return. Now, that's incredible that we get to be alive for this experience of a Pluto return, the first Pluto return of the United States, of a nation. And so Pluto takes 248 years to do a return. So human beings never get a Pluto return. But nations and nations get Pluto returns. And so we're the ones alive for the Pluto return. And this is significant because also the world hasn't had a Pluto transit these degrees since the late 1800s. And when we're dealing with soul level Capricorn, and at these degrees of 28 and 29, the issue is spirit. The issue is it matter over spirit, or is it spirit over matter? And that's what's the matter right now. We're having challenges right now. And tuning into this Mercury retrograde and having Mercury square off with Pluto 3 times in a really profound way. The reason why Pluto is the most important aspect of all these transits, aspects that Mercury is making at this time of fall 2021 is because when Pluto's in a square, it's always we're dealing with undercurrents, we're dealing with unresolved issues, we're dealing with any soul fragments that are left off in soul grounds inside of you, because Pluto is deep inside of you. It's the depths of your soul. And so we're at a crux point right now, really, with humanity. We're at a crux point, and we're at a turning point, a crossroads in which, because of the nature of this Mercury retrograde, we need to make some profound shifts. And I believe that there will be some people, groups of people, soul group, let's say, that's choosing to go deeper, and it's choosing spirit over matter. And I do not mean spiritual bypassing. I do not mean avoiding. I mean Pluto is your own soul alchemist, and this reclaiming of your soul ground and reclaiming places in you that are lost or are disempowered or just not being tended to. And so the possibility with Pluto right now and the aspect of Mercury is making some deep contact with yourself. Mercury deals with communication. And then Libra is a sign in terms of the signs. Think of them as streams, life streams. Every sign is a life stream. And the life stream of Libra, whether or not you have planets in Libra or not, you have a life stream of Libra. We all have that. We're all born within the blueprint of this earth. And the Libra life stream is this channel of you connecting with other people. It's a channel of giving and receiving. And so if that channel is marred or distorted in some way, which is what we encounter, and it's one of the signs that one of the life streams in which we encounter entanglement. And this entanglement is what is wanting to be resolved right now. And so this communication that you need to have with your own soul, that square, Mercury stationed in it was like a degree off of being in an exact square with Pluto. And that was back in September, on that weekend of September 26th, it slowed down and stationed retrograde in a really tight square with Pluto. And, you know, looking back, you can tune into those days and see if was there something really intense going on for you. And however you might have been processing, you know, yourself and whatever's happening in the world, however you're being impacted. And so we're being called, the opportunity here, the evolutionary opportunity right now is to dig deep inside your own soul. Tend to your soul. Tend to who you are. Having a really powerful like self-encounter with that Mercury going retrograde, squaring with Pluto and Capricorn. That's like hermit time. Like go inside, do more quiet activities, get more time alone, go out into nature more, quiet down the buzz of the social world. Like really listen to the your own soul speak, your own heart speak, and do some digging in there because of that Pluto and that Pluto square. It's a possibility for a tremendous amount of transformation and needing to come up against a hard edge, because that's what squares feel like, especially if you have Pluto and Saturn involved in a square. It's like coming up against a hard edge, a challenge. And then the turnaround that's inside, the power of squares is that you transform something on a deep, deep level. Squares are deep, they run deep. So if you're not running deep enough, if you're running too much on the surface and running too much into, you know, the materialistic, you know, what's happening on the surface of reality and not enough in the depths of who you are, if you're living more by your ego and reaction, this is what I feel is the opportunity right now, is to make a shift, make a change. And so that as you're making deeper contact with yourself, there's a possibility for more allowance, more acceptance, more peace, more, you know, just having that kind of soul peace of like, oh, okay, I'm ready to release this now. I'm ready to resolve something that needs to be resolved, and it's within me. And so there could be a possibility for a tremendous amount of letting go. The kind of letting go of like, if you're too attached to something on the outside, if you're attached to an outcome, or those kinds of attachments where, and this is where I find the challenge with like a Pluto square is like, you've got attachments into the world, into like what people are doing or someone close to you is doing, you know, those relationship attachments or attachment to having things go a certain way, and learning how to release and shift a mindset there. We've got Mercury, right? This is Mercury. So shifting a mindset, a communication that you're having internally, and then also these other aspects that, you know, again, the trine with Jupiter 3 times, the quincunx, the 2 quincunxes between Neptune and Pisces, and then between Uranus and Taurus. This is really, really important, these quincunxes, because they want to break you free. The nature of signs that quincunx each other, they're 150 degrees apart. They're like, those signs are 2 different modalities and 2 different air elements, or 2 different elements, not air elements, but elements. So for example, with Mercury in Libra right now, we have Libra in a quincunx to Uranus in Taurus. And then the Libra in a quincunx, Mercury and Libra in a quincunx to Neptune in Pisces. So they're 2, Libra's an air sign, Pisces is water, Taurus is earth, and then we have Pisces in the modality of it's mutable, Taurus is fixed, and then Libra is cardinal. So it's like, it's really like a standoff for Libra. Libra is needing, the Mercury in Libra is needing to make a shift through Neptune and Uranus, because Neptune and Uranus are in a long sextile to each other. So something's working for them, and they really want to boost, they really want to shift the energy of Mercury in Libra. And this is what's key here. The shift is internal. The shift is to yourself, to listen to yourself, so that as you're showing up more deeply to yourself, you can communicate to yourself. You can communicate yourself to others, to your one-to-one relationships, Libra. You can also bridge better, or bridge with more clarity between the social planets, the social personal planets of Jupiter and Saturn. Now Mercury is making a trine to Jupiter 3 times, not to Saturn. Well, it's making a long trine to Saturn, a very long trine. But that's where there's some resolution right now with these, also releasing yourself from attachments and relationships, you know, in the ways in which if you're having any kind of energy of like, this is, you know, frustrated with the way the world is, or frustrated with the way a person is, it's making some shifts that allow you to let go and surrender something so that you can be more in the presence of what is, with more allowance, with more joy, with more forgiveness, whatever it is that you need to make a transformational shift so that you're in the present with more presence, the presence that allows for things to be, so that you are responding to situations with more of your fullness and your wholeness rather than fragmentation and reaction. And so these social personal planets of Jupiter in Aquarius and Saturn in Aquarius, I really want to presence these two planets, because you have your own personal Jupiter and Saturn in your chart, and they're how you bridge into the world. They're how you are participating in the social world, and it's also how the society bridges into you. So while they're in Aquarius right now, and they're in Aquarius, well, Jupiter's in Aquarius until 2022, and then Saturn's in Aquarius till 2023. And with Mercury making aspects to them right now, and especially Jupiter in Aquarius, with the profound potential for transformation and a deep emotional transformation, an internal transformation of some sort, a shift in mindset, that this ability to receive, to communicate yourself more with more authenticity, even more camaraderie in the world, maybe coming up with more collaborative projects, maybe standing up more, communicating yourself more, being, less afraid or more willing to participate in the social world in a new way, and participate with your one-to-one relationship. So that's a really important aspect here, because Mercury being in Libra and Jupiter being in Aquarius and making that triple trine, it's an offering into the larger circle. Your Jupiter, your personal Jupiter, whether you're fully activated in your own personal Jupiter, it's hard to do Jupiter alone. You can do your Saturn alone, but your Jupiter is very hard to do alone. And because Jupiter wants to connect with the wider social circle, it's your offering. It's how you're offering into the world, and is also a potential key for business opportunities and entrepreneurial opportunities. Just kind of giving you a little something there with your own personal Jupiter, because that's how Jupiter as Jupiter forms, it's a destiny planet. It wants to lead you into the future. And so therein is a key to this Mercury retrograde, is a going forward into the future with a little bit more ease, more joy, more acceptance, more allowance. And this is on the profound soul level. Of course, there's going to be people in the planet. When we have almost 8 billion people on the planet, there's going to be people who are choosing ego, matter over spirit. And that's what the matter is. That is what is the matter. With the Pluto going into these more advanced degrees of spirit frequencies in Capricorn. Now, I'm a degree frequency astrologer. I work with the 30-degree frequencies. There's 30-degree frequencies, and each degree frequency streams 12 different ways. And the streams, again, are the signs, so the life streams, the zodiac. And so the degree frequencies of 28 and 29, specifically through Capricorn, we are dealing with the issue of, are you choosing spirit over matter or matter over spirit? And it's within the bridge, to be a bridge for spirit, so that you can fully be here, fully arrive into the present moment, resolve what it is that you need to resolve with your own life. It's sort of a reckoning with your own incarnation, with this life, so that you can be present with the problems that are on planet Earth, and you can be part of the solution. And I believe that the solution is spirit. And by spirit, I mean heart. It is about heart alignment and what it means for you to overcome, because with the 29 frequency of Capricorn, a key word here is overcoming. It does not mean avoiding, it means overcoming, like really digging in to overcome what you might be avoiding, so that you can stand deeper in the here and now, with more presence, with more allowance of what is, of the things that maybe you don't like, which of course there's lots of things to not like about planet Earth right now, and there's lots of things to like about planet Earth right now. And so I believe that on the most evolutionary level, soul level, is a transformation from deep within that allows for you to communicate yourself more clearly to yourself, because you're your own bridge between the spirit realms and earth. You have your own channel. That is what your Mercury is. On a soul level, your Mercury is your own conversation between your own heart and your own head, and really securing in a healthy way that relationship between your heart and your head. And then also how you're communicating into the social world, as well as how you're receiving communications from the social world. So it also could be dialing down, maybe too much of socializing, too much social media, and dialing yourself in more other practices that are helping you to land deeper in yourself, communicating with nature, communicating with trees, communicating with the wind, communicating with the element, those sort of sweet places that restore your soul and your being. And so I'm bringing in that Uranus and Taurus quincunx, that need for nature. You are a nature being. You are a human being, and you are a nature being through and through. And I believe that we're inside of a more longer term evolution of really restoring human beings to their rightful space in planet Earth. And that is to release any mindsets of an anthropocentric worldview, and that means human-centered worldview, and that it's a Gaia-centric worldview, that humans live within the Earth matrix, the Earth Earth realm. We are not we are not here to. We do not live separately from Earth, and in a human-centered perspective, separates human beings from Earth. That inherently is a problem. So I believe that this where you can restore your own soul and listen to the sweet sanctuary of your own soul, make peace in places where you need to make peace, and in that peace is bringing pieces together that have been in fragmentation and coming into wholeness. And so moving forward through these next few weeks, I'm tuning in again from October 11th, and this video is relevant definitely through November 3rd to help you work through how to best move forward. And I believe that the best way to move forward is to continue to take up new practices or routines that are restoring health, that are restoring peace. If you're noticing, because Libra can be a very anxious sign, so if you begin to notice, you start to really hone in on where you get anxious, and where you feel more calm. And definitely, I think this is a good one for everyone, but to take a lot of space from social media and learn to really enter the social media realm with a little bit more pause in between, because it's so easy to pick up our phones, right? It's so easy to go into the social world, and I feel like we need more healthy boundaries. I don't know, put your phone somewhere, whatever it is that can create a more healthy ritual and relationship between you and your iPhone or Android or whatever you're using. And if any way that's causing your nervous system some challenge, I do feel that there's something with that right now, with all the air and the Aquarius energy. And so the main thing being that going through this transformation so that you can be in deeper connection with yourself. So let me know how this video is for you. Please share your comments. Again, subscribe if you're still here with me and listening. And I'm also going to be offering up a tarot guidance in another video, so stay tuned for that. And thanks so much. Much love, and ciao for now.